Hey y'all, good afternoon. This is High Priestess Jamila. Hello. I kind of slept a little bit late today. Um, so of course I've already invoked all of my spirits and my goddesses praise to give me God. Or Yamaya. What I wanted to talk about, speaking of Soncerae Smith, and I normally do not get involved, y'all. I do not like to get involved in this struggle that these black people on the internet are going through. I do not, and I'm not involved. But I wanted to point something out to y'all. Okay. Somebody is doing some heavy, heavy black magic and voodoo on her. And it is so sad when you can't even come to social media and trust your own people. That's so sad. Y'all, it's sad. It's so sad for them. It really, really is. every and you know why? You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you the top notch reason why somebody or either a group is doing heavy work, been doing heavy work on her and her son. Is because she's beautiful. Soncerae Smith is beautiful, regardless to what anybody want to paint her out to be. She's always been a pretty girl, and they will do work on you if you pretty. And it's black people doing it too. It don't matter if you black, it don't matter if you white, but the black ones will do work on you just because you pretty, and they feel some type of way about the way you look. It just is what it is, right? Which is a stupid reason. So we all know that they're not justified. You're not justified in doing black magic on somebody just because you're jealous of them, right? And when there's no justification, you don't have no protection. Not actually, you do not actually have protection. Uh, and that shit, whoever's doing that, like, and I've warned people about that. You don't just do work on somebody just because you're jealous of them. You don't know who and what is protecting that person, and you don't know when they come to collect, right? And it's typically they'll skate and skate and skate and skate and skate until it's time. And I believe that it's got something to do with certain gods and deities and stuff. And they do show up and do things to people that spiritually attack people randomly. These people are randomly attacking people in social media. And when it's time, first of all, if somebody had actually done something to you, has Soncerae Smith done something to you? Has um her son, her child, done anything to you? The answer is no. That shit will come to collect. It will. Okay? Can't get past it. And it don't matter and you ain't got no power. You can say, oh well, I got storm water. I got this, I got that. I got enchanted mirrors. I got black mirrors. I got black candles. I got purple candles. I got pink candles. Cause you'd be surprised at how pink candles can actually curse a person. It don't matter. You still gonna have to get it. Cause when a person is minding their own business, they are not a threat to you. You are not justified in threatening that person. I don't care if the economy is bad. I don't care if white people doing this or the white man or the president. I'm talking about the president, the White House. They doing this at the White House. We got to do what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do. We and wherever we got to get what we got to get, we got to attack somebody. We got to do this, prove that. It don't matter. It doesn't anyway. Somebody been doing work on her and her son. She don't really know it though. She's not actually aware that somebody's doing work on her and her son. And see, even if somebody does not know really the work, if somebody is not equipped to conjure all 72 spirits of the Goetia, because some people can conjure all of them at once, which is typically what you want to do when you under heavy energy attack. I'm telling you, conjure all of them at once when you under heavy attack. For real. And you better be justified. If you not justified, and I'm talking about heavy attack. Okay. Somebody been doing work on that little boy, that baby since some people can come online and they can vlog their whole pregnancy and don't nobody bother them. But then it's some of us that have been placed under target. Hey, Unicali. Somebody doing work on that child. And I hate people that mess with little children. I don't like people that do that kind of stuff. I don't. I'm very protective over children. And so right now you got the flying monkeys comparing me to her, right? You got the flying monkeys comparing me to Soncerae Smith. Me and her are very different. Me and her are very different. First of all, her son can't talk apparently. See, they've been saying that about Jacob since he was a year old, and Jacob definitely can talk. He definitely can talk. He's a very intelligent kid. He's just shy. He's a Pisces. Kids, listen, kids are not supposed to be made for show business and supposed to be, most parents don't train their kids to do show tunes for people and show out for people. Most of us normal people. I'm not a Hollywood type of mother. I'm not going to train my child on how to entertain adults. That was never my purpose. So a lot of kids is normal. They supposed to go through their shy phase in life. They not supposed to be, out here groomed to entertain adults anyway, right? And the people that be doing stuff like that, they groom their children to entertain adults. Ain't got nothing to do with school or socialization. They've been in social media. They want their child to say what they want to say like a puppet. So kids are supposed to go through what they go through. Kids go through their awkward phase. I remember when I was younger, I would walk around. I would walk around popping my knuckles. I would pop my knuckles, but I would do it with one hand. I wouldn't do it with both hands. And so I just look a little awkward. That's normal. When I developed myself into a woman, I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying? That's the natural process of life. These people out here grooming their kids to act like they grown, and most child experts and psychologists know that. Okay. Right, exactly, Unicali. So, I ain't groomed none of my children for no pedophiles or nothing like that to be entertained in Hollywood. I ain't never wanted to be in show business. I'm not in show business. I was a regular vlogger in social media that had a lot of views. Y'all remember my Terry Cloth 97 channel. That channel had over 6 million views on it. So both of my channels on YouTube have went viral. And at some point, Soncerae Smith probably went viral at some point. And that makes her a target by her own people, by black people. It's sad. It's sad. They doing work on that little boy. And she ain't removed none of it. See, for out the gates, I knew they was trying to do work on my son. My baby wasn't even old enough to talk. And they was saying he can't talk. And I was already reversing that stuff. I sure was. I was already doing reversals. And when it was time for my baby to talk, my baby talked normally. So she not doing that. Soncerae Smith ain't doing the work. She ain't getting the work done. And then a lot of y'all can't find nobody out here you can trust because there's a lot of people that are very, very, very unjust and corrupt. And they not going to care about your babies. They not. They'll take advantage. So her son is factually under spiritual attack, and that's why that baby grunting. And so see, my baby ain't never grunted. I mean, when they babies, they make little baby noises, but when they get to be 2 years old, they start talking. Jacob started talking at the time he was supposed to start talking because I did that work. Okay. He's very intelligent. Jacob does a lot. I'm not going to talk about my son, you know what I'm saying, because they love getting information. Soncerae apparently just moved back to Georgia. She done got lured down there to Georgia. I'd have moved anywhere other than Georgia. That's not a safe place for a single woman and a child. Georgia is not safe for her. She should have never. They done lured her down there. She need to get out. She need to get right back on the bus or the train that led her down there. She needs to get out of there now. It's evil. It's a lot of evil people in Georgia. Somebody doing work on that baby. So, I don't know why these people so evil. They wake up every day trying to think of something evil to do. I don't understand it. And them spirits gonna come to collect. You picking on people, attacking people. Why? Random people in social media. Why? And the sad part about it is that clearly Soncerae Smith's the baby father must have been in on it. That's sad. See, that was the difference between me and her, though. I ain't met nobody from social media and had no baby with them. I would never meet somebody from social media and have a baby with them unless you know for a fact that that's a good person and you can trust them. But apparently her baby daddy ain't about nothing. Apparently, because he done came out here and talked crazy about her. That's why I shared that video with Lauryn Hill's ex-husband. Her ex-husband is her rider. He ain't gonna let nobody hurt that woman. But it's a lot of these men out here, they not men. They not men. They don't protect the women in their life. They set them up. So y'all gotta, man, one thing I gotta tell y'all better pay attention. Check yourself when you feeling some type of way about your own family. You need to check yourself. Families stick together. Stick together. It's even okay, especially if your family member is being targeted in social media. That means your whole family under attack, not just that one person. And I see a lot in Soncerae Smith. She's a high priestess just like me. The high priestesses are under attack and their families is under attack. And the last thing that you need to do is turn away from them. Her family needs to be supporting her because what's going to happen is that, but see, she's not developed. She's underdeveloped. She has no idea. At least that's how she presents herself to be. She don't know why she's under attack. It ain't just a simple reason. I wish that it was just because these dudes was stupid. No, it's for a different purpose. It's for a different purpose. Okay. For whatever reason, if you got a high priestess or somebody in your family and they're a decent person, stick by that person because your whole family is under attack. Now, they doing all kind of tactics, apparently trying to pretend like they got the police on their side, trying to. It's just like a stupid movie. I was thinking to myself, I said, this dude, whoever this is, and it's sad. It's so sad that these people don't know nothing else better to do. I said to myself, I said, he been watching too much Training Day. And next thing you know, he gonna be like, King Kong ain't got nothing on me. And part of the reason why the police, the real police, ain't kicked in to get these people because they need to get got. All of them that's doing all that fuck shit that they doing need to get got. Okay, all that calling the police, swatting people and stuff. That stuff they need to be arrested for that stuff because at this point it is a felony. Okay, and I don't need to commit felony and fraud for my witchcraft to work, for my prayers to work. But see, I'm the good guy. I'm on the good side. I don't do that to people. Prior to running into some of these people in social media, man, I had such a peaceful life, and I still have one. But y'all better recognize to protect your whole family. That's why they look up your people. They threatening to look up your people and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's just pure evil, anger, sadism. It's sick. It's sick. And your family got to stick together. But see, that's what's wrong with a lot of black families. We don't know how to stick together. And we so susceptible to possession. Okay. Let me warm up my coffee. You got to do what you got to do. Okay. So, you know, hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all back. I had to warm up my coffee. Leaving social media is not going to stop the attacks. Even if you leave social media, take it down, they still gonna attack you. Okay, leaving social media does not. Yeah, and Unicali. That's what that evil entity has been doing to some people family, but it's a and if you feel like if you don't have no family, then that means that it's going to be extra bad. And I got a client like that who family all messed up like that. I got one of my clients that's like that. And it's very hard for her. But you'll get through it. You know what I'm saying? Spirit gonna make sure that spirit provides, because a lot of what's happening, us high priestesses and shamans, we can't just help people for free. We can't do it, because then how will we be able to support ourselves? Some of us have had to hire attorneys and law, and it's all kind of extra expenses involved with that, when you got your whole when the whole family is under attack. Mm-hmm. Right. I've been targeted before I joined YouTube. Right. Exactly. Exactly. I I didn't started getting targeted until I came to YouTube. But see, there was some issues that my grandmother was dealing with, and just her presence cleared that out. Just her presence, she's a my she and my grandma is still, no disrespect to her, but my grandma is still a bad bitch. She's still a bad bitch. Okay. My grandma Lena Briscoe, she's still a bad one. She a baddie. Okay. She is. But then when you came to YouTube or something, then that added to it. But see, that don't give these people no excuse or no leeway. Everybody got the right to, if they want to, if that's a part of their path, you can't just say, oh, well, that's so, you can't run from it. You can't run from it. And y'all families need to stick together. If you got a halfway decent family, you need to stick together. That's all that, because you know what? And whatever it is that you do, make sure you got your family, and make sure that you know what you doing. Make sure that you know what you doing, you know. And don't just say, oh, well, that, this is evil, that is evil. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand that somebody came to one of my videos on TikTok, y'all, and they said God is my psychic, and I said, well, from God to my mouth to your ears, then, baby. God presents himself in various ways. Okay, so, and don't be judgmental of your family. Stop doing that, because you just never know. You just never know. And you got to stick together. You can't, you know you mm-mm. When the moment you start going against your family, leaves you susceptible. And just by me saying that, they want to attack me, because they want everybody family to be against each other. You don't be against your family. See, that's the result and the workings of that negativity, that evil. Because if they can divide your family, then they got you. And especially when it comes to the youngsters of the family, the little ones, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you right, Violet Black. They latch on, or they, at least they try to latch on. It's very peculiar. It don't look right. When you look at it, it don't look right. Why are these people talking about random people, family, and social media? You don't even know this person. And yeah, it could be somebody within the family that's doing something, but not always. And even if it is, it don't matter. You still shouldn't be doing it. Hmm. Yeah. I don't see them as the mafia. I don't see them as that. But calling the police on somebody, calling fire trucks and stuff, false CPS reports, to me, that's very weak. To me, that's very weak. And it shows that they don't have a lot of spiritual power. Because if somebody actually have spiritual power, they ain't got to do all that. If they actually had spiritual power, they ain't got to go after nobody's family. What you going after people family for? Yeah, they do want to feed off of people, but you know what I'm saying? What they just need to figure it out. They not really aligned with spirit, apparently. Because God has always got a solution for them, and their solution that they went to was stupid, dangerous, weak, and nobody respects it. Oh, I'm gonna take this and take that and take this and take that from somebody else. How you know you didn't already have it? You didn't have to take it from somebody. Now you in a spiritual war over somebody else's. Yeah. Well, I've been through a lot the past year. Past year has been very hard for me, but that's not gonna stop me from telling the truth. And it's really based upon their pain and suffering. That they need to go and figure out what's happening within their own selves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's exactly what's going on with Miss Soncerae. They doing work on that poor baby, can't even talk. See, if she'd have been doing them reversal candles and prayers and healings, see, I've been Yamaya came to me the moment, and a lot of people say, well, do you practice Santeria? I don't practice Santeria. You know what I'm saying? I just I'm just a general healer, and obviously Yamaya is connected with healing. But from the beginning, I was working on my whole family, trying to cover and protect them. And when you got distrust going on, when you got people saying, well, you know everything that is outside of Jesus is evil, but how do you know that Jesus is not using those spirits? How do you know that? You don't know that. You don't know what really come with it, you know Thank you, Violet. Oh yeah, I had to get up out of Georgia, and I had to. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. you know and they'll try to convince you. And what they using is they are trying to conjure up these bad spirits, but they are using psychic attack and stuff. That's why they focus on people's heads and stuff. They try to get in people's heads and stuff. It's sick. Whoever is doing it is a sick person, and everything they do is gonna fail. That's all I know. Is that all? And it's funny how they got one of their flying monkeys speaking about entitlement, when that's the epitome of entitlement. What do you think these people are? You think that people are just here for you to attack them for your purpose, for you to take from them families and of people, children, that they mamas, their fathers, their grandparents, their uncles, their aunts, their cousins. You think that people's family is just here? That's the ultimate in feeling entitlement, to where you feel entitled to somebody's whole family. So I don't even want to hear it. Nothing that they say has any merit. And they all in a group. They all in cahoots. And it's sick and it's stupid. It's the stupidest thing I ever seen in history. Ah, it's the stupidest thing I ever seen in history. It is. So you know. And Soncerae Smith need to wake up. She need to wake up and look at her son, and she needs to start doing healing work on that kid. They done spoke so much bad over that baby, and they evil. That you right, ignorance is evil, but they evil. They done spoke so much bad over that kid that he got to be at least, I don't know how old her kid is, but I know that that baby can't talk at all. They tried, like I said, they tried to do the same thing to me. They tried to do that to my son. And, if you a person that aspires to buy a house and things of that nature, they're trying to deny you that right. They want to take your land. It's black people out here. They trying to take your destiny. If I'd have known it was that desperate, I would have kept my backup plan. You know what I'm saying? What was sustaining me. But you know what? It wasn't meant for that to happen. It was meant for something else to happen. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. Really what they doing is they doing death magic. But see, death magic manifests itself not with death all the time. Sometimes it manifests with struggle. So death magic is being done. They really wanted that baby to die. They wanted to take that baby's soul. And that baby is fragmented. And I don't see myself as being up against some elite or Illuminati or secret society. If you was a secret society, you wouldn't be out in the open. It ain't no secret. We can all see what you doing. So that's what don't make no sense. However, they do got people practicing witchcraft, the Kabbalah, doing all kind of stuff, and it's stupid because they think that because they're in a group that gives them more power, but it doesn't. And you know what? And then they'll try to speak the secret workings of Jesus, but Jesus was a man on his own that was performing his miracles. And he was by himself. He had his disciples, but all his disciples turned against him at some point, I believe. I've been thinking about getting a book just to read about the sacred workings and Jesus, because I think that he is important for you to understand what he walked. He went through that alone, battling evil by himself. So that's what makes him so sacred, because he did it by himself. He didn't need a bunch of people, groups of people all over the world. You know what I'm saying? So what's really going on? What's the end game for these people? The end game is usually death. And the reason why they do some of the stuff that they do is because they wanted to result in it's a stupid, weak, flimsy plan that they got. It's so stupid. They do their death magic. They try to call the police on somebody because they trying to get somebody set up. They want the person to act crazy so the police will arrest them or shoot them. And see, you got to be smarter than that. When they doing work on you, and you better have your head covered, because what they'll do is they'll do that work and get your head all messed up, and then they'll call the police to do a wellness check, and then they trying to do work on the police to get you shot up. Is what they doing. So they uh and you got to be able to recognize that. Okay, when they call CPS a defects, they doing work to try to persuade you to do something crazy or something, so that there will be evidence against you. You got to be smarter than that. You got to be stronger than that. They playing a real dirty, disgusting game. is what they doing. And stick close to your family. If you got a decent family, stick close to your family. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said, Soncerae should have went. I heard her mother was in a different state. She should have went close to where her mama is at. Like I said, I got lured down to Georgia. I wasn't supposed to be there. I got lured there. And another thing I was gonna come and talk to y'all about, I'm gonna go right now, y'all. Another thing I was gonna talk to y'all about is y'all spiritual husband. Yeah, a lot of y'all need that. A lot of y'all need that because it took 6 days for my spiritual husband to manifest us getting out of Georgia because that it's a cesspool of it down there. It's a lot of and you know what? It's sick. It don't make no sense. It's stupid. Why are they doing it? Why don't they stop? These men, they are a total disgrace for even participating in it. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't want to hear you blame no witch. Don't you ever blame no witch. Those men should be smarter than that. Those men need to wake up and smell the coffee. You can say, oh, well, a witch did some work on me and she persuaded me to do it. No, you supposed to be a man. So that's why I don't, that's why, hey, listen, if a witch is targeting your man and he wilding out and flipping out, he ain't no good. Especially if he keep going there. If he keeps taking it there, all the way there to the point where he's beating you, cheating on you, bringing you home diseases and stuff, you know, he ain't about nothing. Because a real man is supposed to fight that. A real man is supposed to have it in his mind to recognize that, regardless if you doing work or not, to work it off of him. So if he taking it there, it's a part of his spirit that wants to go there. Now, when it comes to your family, sometimes your family, they may become compromised or whatever when you under spiritual attack. And you just gotta go to your spirit. You gotta go to God and say, you know what, help my family. Don't just turn against your people and start getting mad at them, wishing death on them and stuff. You when if your family members possess you, you know what, you tell them, you say, I love you, and you got to understand what's happening. You do. I've seen the attacks manifest my whole life. I've seen them. Families get to arguing and stuff. Don't turn your back on your family just because you had an argument. They may say something hurtful. You know what? That's a part of it. But you gotta bring out that happy. And it's not that you're being taken advantage of. It's not that you being, don't look at it that way. Because some of them are scared. They scared of it. They don't want to deal with it. But you know what? The one thing you you don't want to be going to your family funeral, man. Take care of your people. Especially when your elders, your mama, your grandmother didn't raise you to do stuff like that. It's some of these parents out here that was narcissistic. They raised they raised all their kids with that war and hell in their lives. They did it purposely for entertainment. Turn the kids against each other, the siblings against each other. If your parent didn't raise you that way, then you're very lucky. They didn't do that. You know, that meant that the attack was coming from the outside somehow. Okay. And if you got that kind of situation going on, you either aware and you lost. Okay. Right now, you don't know what to do. The only thing you can do is salvage as many people in your bloodline as possible, especially when it comes to your kids, especially when it comes to your people. And kids are very impressionable. When they in their early 20s, teens, If you don't have that protection over them, and they can be persuaded to do just about anything, say anything. And yeah, everybody needs to take responsibility for their actions, absolutely. But it's still by design. Don't let it get so bad to where your whole family hate each other and against each other. Don't do that. And everybody need to get off of this kick to where it's, oh, we got a bad apple or whatever and all that. Let me tell you something. Your family, sometimes they just need your help and your patience and your compassion. Okay. Quit, get out of that thing to where a lot of families, they want to blame one person. Oh, this person is doing this, or this person. It can be somebody that's either a witch. It could be a shaman in your family. It could be a healer in your family, or it could be somebody that might be gay. It could be a gay person in your family, a lesbian person in your family. It could be somebody that's on drugs. Take care of your family. Okay. Take care of your family, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. Don't turn your back on them, because you know what? The same thing that led to whatever it was is what's attacking your family. Now, if you got a witch in the family, that ain't always their fault, but the witch will be used as a catalyst to bring that in. You gotta deny that spirit from allowing itself in. So that's why you gotta work inward. There's certain doorways that they'll use to get into you, to bring in that negativity. You gotta be able to block it out. So that's another thing. They will use a person, and it's typically a witch or a shaman or a healer. Okay, God made them that way, but they will use that person as a conduit to bring negativity into the family, and that person has to be smart enough and aware enough to block that out. And however Jesus or God leads you to do it, whether or not it's a candle, a cross, or whatever it is, whatever it is, we all do it differently. Then you got to shut that down, but you got to be very specific and know what's going on, because sometimes that stuff will be coming in through here, it'll be coming in through there. It can, and they will use the person as a conduit to attack the whole family. So that's why you feeling like, well, it's this person's fault. Not necessarily. That person may have it in their heart to be loving to you, but that stuff is coming in through them. At some point, you got to say, you know what, this is coming from me. I got to deny entry. Okay, so that's another thing. And I've been doing all this work the past couple of days. Yeah, not most witches ain't evil. They paint witch is a very broad term for different things. You know what I'm saying? But a witch could be a person that's a medium, a psychic medium. Mediums are constantly used to send spirits through. They have studied your Akashic records. They know who you are. A person can't help what they can do. When you have that kind of gift, that gift is being used to attack. So you have to say, you know what? I'm not letting it in. And typically it's through the third eye and the heart. And they'll just be sending stuff in, but you got to deny it access. I'm not going to let you get to my family. How do you do that? Well, the way I've done it, the way I've done it might be different from the way somebody else would do it. It's just how God leads me to do it. Cause you'll be sitting there, you'll even be praying for and blessing your family, but you know what? Something else will be coming in because you're being used as a conduit. So be careful with that too. And if somebody's really heavily targeting your family, then you need to sit down with somebody that knows what they're doing to say, hey, this is coming in through me. How do I shut it down? How do I stop it from? You don't have to die to do that. The person don't have to die. They ain't gonna die. It's just that that person ain't gonna be used no more. Okay. Okay. So you never know, and it might make you feel a little ungrounded for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? Then so you just gotta focus on grounding yourself. Just just why attack a family or be a false friend when they could focus on their real family and be a real friend? Because it's a chain. I call it a chain, basically. Okay. One person makes a stupid decision and that stupid decision keeps going on and on and on as a loop. It's like a loop de loop, Violet Black. It's like a loop de loop. A lot of these people don't know how to deal with it. Okay. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know the proper steps to take. And next thing you know, everybody thinking, well, this person, all this negativity is coming in through this person, and we got to do this and we got to do that. No, it ain't meant for you to do that. When you do stuff like that, you see it gets worse. It gets worse, don't it? You don't do that, you know, especially when it's somebody in your family that's special like that, that whose gifts have been developed since they was a child. It is what it is, and that was a blessing. Spiritual gifts are a blessing. Okay, being spiritually gifted is a blessing. It's not a curse, but a lot of people want to make it a curse. Okay, you got to be smarter than that. Especially when you know your family love you and they not there to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? You grew up with that person. You know that person. They ain't doing nothing to hurt you. They for what? But see, whenever a person is spiritually gifted and they come out and they tell their family, the first thing that the family do is they get scared, and they should. But it's because a lot of people don't know what they're doing, or either they never learn. You can walk away from it and say, "Well, I'm just gonna walk away from this," but the happening is still gonna be happening. It's still gonna be happening. Okay, and your love and your heart is gonna keep leading you to love on your family, but it's still gonna happen. So you do have to close those doorways and those portals that are being used. And then somebody got to protect these mirrors. They come in through the water. Somebody take a bath, they can come in through water. Anything with a reflection. Anything with a reflection. Especially if you got water signs in your family, Cancer, Scorpios, Pisces. See, that's water. That's water energy, and those people typically will be used. But everybody can be used, but especially them water signs. Yeah. So if you feel like you never had a real genuine family or friend, you, Nikali, you need to come talk to me. You need to come talk to me. Let me tell you something. While you may run into people that are real evil, everybody in your life ain't had it out for you. It ain't everybody. It's not. It's good people in this world. I was telling y'all about my OG, right? He was so amazing. I miss him too. I'm gonna call him today. Try to get in touch with him today. He's a Cancer too, and he's a 33rd degree Mason. And he told me, he said, "You see how everybody ain't out to get you." I said, "I know." And he's a real. Hmm. Yeah, mirrors. You got to protect the mirrors. You got to say, "Hey, this ain't gonna come in through it," because mirrors can be as an entry point, but they will come in through that person. So that, and a lot of people are not covered. That's why you end up with all these bad spirits roaming throughout the family. Hmm. Yeah, don't be weak minded, man. Stick by your family. Stick by your family. Don't be weak minded. Mm-mm. Don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do. Because that evil will trick you. That evil will try to trick people and try to convince them that their family don't love them or that they can't trust them. Don't do that. Don't do that. And see, a lot of people have had that kind of crap going on in their family for generations. And when that happens, sometimes I just be like, well, I can't fix what goes back several generations. That's too much. But when it comes to you and your cheering, you know what I'm saying? But then you may have a few people in your family that's okay. You can't just cut out everybody because everybody ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? She said, I had my grandma Eva when she was alive. Yeah. Well, she ain't went nowhere. Call to her, Unicali. She's still there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, a lot of people think that family like that, they just go and they ascend into heaven. They can't ascend. They got work to do here. So she's still here, Unicali. She's still here. I can sense your grandmother. She's still here helping you. So they ain't went nowhere. That's why they linger, they hover above us so that they can help us. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I hope that y'all have a loving Friday. Hey, I'm sending out love to all of y'all that can receive it. Let's put it like that. There are some people that can't receive love, but to all of you guys that can receive it, love you guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Yes, she is protecting you. Absolutely, Unicali, she is. But see, they not. Uh, I think it depends. All I know is that a lot of y'all have a lot of spiritual power and blessings in your family, and it manifested through your parents. It manifested through your parents, your grandparents. They had a lot of stability, a lot of security, and folks be after that. They be after that. I'm telling you. And it's connected to Saturn and Mercury. You notice they get real antsy on Wednesday, but the chain got cut, so they got real nervous around Thursday, and today is manifesting because of God. I ain't gonna say spirits, let's just say God. But on Saturday, it's gonna their spirit's gonna manifest itself, and the destiny swapping is very real. It's very real. Hmm. It's some other stuff I could talk about, but I ain't gonna talk about it. Because you know what? If I even if I told them I gotta go, I gotta return a phone call. But even if I told them how they could fix it, even if I told them what they could do, they still wouldn't do it the right way. They still would not do it the right way. They still gonna do it the way they doing it. So we just gonna keep that information for us. And a lot of y'all can talk to me via reading. And if my spirits allow me to tell y'all the three things that you can do right now to change the situation, because I have to ask permission first. But okay, y'all, I gotta go. I love you guys. Y'all have a happy Friday, okay? I hope that God brings y'all some peace today, okay? All right, Soncerae Smith, get your son some help. He needs spiritual help. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.